Check, 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 check. What's going on, y'all? Happy Sunday. Happy daylight savings. Hope you all had a great weekend. Big Dave and John should be joining us momentarily. How about this new lineup, y'all? John boy.
How is my Rocky Mountain boy?
Oh, I am good, buddy. How you doing?
Miss you. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Miss you.
Oh,
I
it's been a while,
legitimately
man.
miss you.
I genuinely miss you too.
We talk every day, but I don't see your face every day.
I know. It's really not okay.
Game.
Dude, how about this lineup?
Zach LaVine has taken 6 shots.
Unbelievable. But the
And
Bulls have like
I-
a zillion assists on a zillion and one buckets.
It's wild to me that we don't do this earlier.
I mean, I get it in the sense that like Kobe and Wendell are both theoretically important to at least figuring out what happens next. So starting them as long as you can. But I mean, like these 2 games out of the All-Star break have been bad before tonight.
I think we hold too much to starting. Like, I don't know why we don't mess around more often in basketball. Like, because it's about fit and match. It's like, because this is working better than I thought it would ever work. Granted, it's small sample size, but guess what? Everything's small sample size. There's only like 70 games. So unless there's 200 games, we will never have a regular sample size.
Right.
But I do feel like, oh yeah, it's just like, it's fit. Like, it's like, I mean, musical theater, King George could have been one of the best actors out there, but he's put him out for King George, get 3 songs, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yep.
It's about matchup.
Oh, my buddy and I were listening to Hamilton just the other night.
It's
never gets old. Dude.
It's so good. You sound dumb by saying if you say it's good. It's like what's good. The Sistine Chapel. That's like a good ceiling.
Oh, John, your favorite player just officially got his 7th double-double of the season. Wendell!
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? What's up, Lakita? What's up, Marlon? D, JR? Hope everybody's having a nice weekend. Guys, how about daylight savings? It's not going to get dark at 4 o'clock anymore.
Peck, this is something that I think is daylight saving, and I thought you would be the one to bust me on this.
Singular?
No plural, no S. Daylight saving
daylight
time.
Savings?
I don't think so. In Veep, Gary Cole, that's like his whole thing. He's like saving.
That's poppycock. That is nonsense. I don't believe you. Hi, Dave.
I trust Gary Cole.
No, continue. I'm enjoying it. Please. Hello.
Calvary. The Calvary's
not
here,
tonight, John. Not tonight. I'm not taking the bait tonight.
I was watching Speed, and they say that, and I was like, oh, that is how you say it. Like when they said it in Speed, the guy in Speed said it right.
Also, I saw your text about the movie Speed and its release date, and how
it's crazy, right?
3 days prior to the OJ chase.
1 week.
Okay,
but exactly 7 days.
That's.
I was like, there's a lot of helicopter shots of this car, of this bus on the LA freeway.
Was that your first time seeing Speed?
It was my first time seeing it like as an adult.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And it's the best. It's the best. I'm on a big Sandy Bullock.
Really good.
I'm going on a big Sandy Bullock thing right now.
Like,
not that's gonna be short.
Is Keanu a great, like, he's dumb, but he's an awesome action hero guy in that movie. Jeff Daniels, amazing sidekick character.
His name is Harry.
I know. It's so,
which is so funny.
Perfect. And then, oh shoot, his name just jumped out of my brain. He passed away a few years ago, but the bad guy,
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. Thank you. Who's also the best bad guy ever in Waterworld, the most underrated movie ever.
There's no way Waterworld is considered the
I mean, yeah.
Everybody always talks about it being like a huge blockbuster flop, like a Hollywood flop, because that was pre-CGI. Like, they built a set in the middle of an ocean or whatever.
Yeah, that's
cost a bajillion dollars. They had to rebuild it because a tidal wave like wrecked the first one.
Is that Kevin Costner? That's Kevin Costner, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did that and The Postman, and they were like, I feel like after those two, it's like, all right, no more movies, man. No more. Like, you can go do other things.
Yeah, he had too many hits like stored up where he can have like two huge flops and still kind of get away with it.
Oh, my gosh.
Like Dances with Wolves. Can you imagine the pitch meeting for Dances with Wolves? Like, like seriously, and that works. It gets you an Oscar. So you have to leave him alone for a couple of movies because that worked.
I think that's true. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
It's a movie.
Durham.
JR said, Waterworld. What? Safety King voice.
Sandy Bullock
hey.
made the second worst. I think she's number 2 on my list of worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
What movie?
I think she's either number 2 or number 3. Premonition.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I never saw that, but I heard it was real dumb.
Jesus, I saw it on a plane once, dog, and I tried to get off the plane during midair. it was horrible, dog. My God.
So you didn't even appreciate its existence for passing the time of a flight.
Right,
like,
exactly.
It wasn't even that.
It made it so much longer. And
expectations are low, and you gave us less than that.
Yes. Dude, and I am a person, I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I am a person who absolutely adores horrible movies. I love them with a passion. I love trash movies. So when I see something that is truly terrible, take it to the bank, man. For real. Take it more to the bank than anything I might tell you about music.
Until quarter 3.
Wait, what time is it? What time are you guys at?
Oh, man, yeah. Let me catch up with Matt.
I'm at 9:32 right now. I might be behind because I'm slinging this from my parents' cable box in Chicago from 1,000 miles away.
Hold up. I'm catching up with you. You said 9:32.
Okay, I'm like 10 seconds behind you.
Speaking of borrowing my parents' cable box from 1,000 miles away, my mom just texted me and said, John is correct. The proper word is saving, singular, daylight saving time. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Peck.
Mama Peck.
I really appreciate that. But it's so funny. I never knew that because it doesn't sound right.
It doesn't.
No, I've always said daylight savings.
It's all right, Matt. We're not perfect, Matt. It's okay, man.
Although I guess the word daylight doesn't really make sense to pluralize, does it?
Language is living. So
English is weird.
People think the dictionary is a rule book, and it's just a reflection of what's happening. And people get mad every time they add a new word.
Yeah. Inflammable is flammable.
As Calvin would say, verbing weirds language.
That is really funny. Did you see they added embiggens to the?
A what?
To embiggens from Simpsons.
No.
Oh, dude, did you see they added Finna?
Finna and supposedly
Finna. Do you understand what I went through as a child dealing with teachers telling me that wasn't a word? Y'all don't understand. That's a black word. Y'all don't get it. Like, that is a black word. Black people say finna all day long. And that's all we were told is that is not the proper way to say it.
If you got
guess what it is.
If you got schooling in Texas, you could have got with fixin'.
Fixin'.
That would have counted. That would have counted.
Oh,
Denzel!
Oh, about time you knocked down a 3. It was 0 for 3 before these last 2. Guys, this Raptors team missing the pieces that they're missing is real bad.
It is.
There is no excuse for us to lose to this team.
Norman,
we're up by 15 now. We should win by. Oh, he's on fire!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, look at him! Look at him, man! Look at him, dude!
Dude, he is strutting around like he just hit a game winner in Game 7.
Man,
come on!
Let him be happy, man. Look what he just did. Like, let him be hyped. You should be hyped when you do something like that. That's exactly how you should react. Splash.
That's an amazing shot.
I mean, that right there. Add it to the Denzel Valentine gift collection and send that gift collection to the Library of Congress.
I wanted Denzel to just walk into the tunnel after that.
It's just go off.
I'm done for tonight. I hit 3 threes. That is my contribution.
I fulfilled my contract. That was awesome.
Cool couple of stats here. 8th time the Bulls posted 30 or more assists this season. The Bulls, with that Denzel bucket, have 7 players in double figures. Zach LaVine is not one of them.
Yep. And he'll get there. He'll get there.
Oh,
what does Zach have, by the way?
He has 7.
7?
So he's just got to knock down a 3.
But he's only taking 6 shots still, though, right? Is only still 6?
He is 2 of 6 from the field now. 3 of 5 at the free throw line. Dean's saying that's the point. Hard to judge what you see based on that. Are you referring to the fact that we're playing the Raptorless Raptors right now?
See, but guys, I ain't trying to hear that, because when we just played the last 2 teams who were missing people, everybody was like, "You see?" So no, I ain't trying to hear that. Seriously.
The Bamless Heat. Yeah, right. I mean,
Bam is gone. They had no All-Stars on Philly at all, and they still ran us out the gym. I ain't trying to.
They ran us out.
Yeah, man. I'm not trying to hear that, dog. I'm not trying to hear that at all. Like, give credit where credit is due. They're playing well. They look like a way better basketball team. Give them that credit.
And I mean, the difference between players missing or teams missing all-star caliber players, when it's Philly, it's like, yeah, they were missing Embiid and Simmons, but they're the 1 seed. So even when they're missing players, the rest of the squad is good.
Yeah.
With Toronto, it's like the Raptors have the same record as the Bulls, and they're missing Van Vliet and Siakam and OG Anunoby. So it's like, okay, yeah, then that's actually a lot different.
Very fair. But when you're missing your MVP and you're missing your other All-Star, and that's all you have. Those are your 2 All-Stars. Like, you're missing like arguably the best player in the league and your other All-Star, and arguably your best defender in the league this year. I can argue it. When you're missing those 2 things and you still come out and you beat a team by 20, that's saying a lot. Like, that's still a whooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, they look bad and they look horrible, and it caused them to make these changes. So I understand that they're better than Toronto. They are 17-21. I get that. I get all of that. But dude, what you gonna tell me about the Heat then? Like what you gonna tell me about Bam Adebayo not being out there? What you gonna say then? They're not a 1 seed, 2 seed, nothing like that. They're struggling too. Come on, dude. Like, just give them the credit. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's a big Lowry bucket right there.
Loud? Am I the only one getting lost every time he says loud?
Dude, and I'm thinking it is driving me nuts. And I'm like, can we just do one-on-one? Like, can we just settle this one-on-one? Because I can't keep it.
It's messing with my brain so much. I'm like, wait a minute, Lowry got hurt? He got a Band-Aid for what? Like, oh.
And they are pronounced exactly the same. And you can't tell the spelling of which one that they're talking about. At all. They just say Markkinen or Kyle. Even though I've never heard anybody call him Kyle. Like, oh, come on, guys. I feel like we haven't used the finisher nickname nearly enough. Because he hasn't been a finisher of any kind. But
it's way more fun to say the closer from Finland.
Just for the sake of complicating it.
Just because it's finisher, it's like too perfect. Like finisher is so much better than Joker.
It is.
Joker's the worst nickname.
It's not. It's not the worst.
It's not the worst because I guess he does play he plays basketball like it's a carnival game. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, correct. That's true.
He's like, it looks like he's at a carnival. Like,
speaking of which, Adam says, "I swear Denzel thinks he's the living embodiment of an NBA 2K player." And Marlon quickly responded to that with, "But not Denzel in NBA 2K because no one uses him."
Oh,
you trade him. You trade him right away.
Yeah, he's right. Oh, John, I saw Knives Out,
and
it was good.
It was good, right?
Yeah, it was very good.
Just a fun. They don't make movies like that anymore, Dave.
Agreed. No, I would have went to the movie theater and watched that. That's the movie I would go see at the movie theater.
That's like a movie. That's like a movie from the 90s you see, but in a good way. Like you're like, it's kind of original. It's not based on anything. Like it's just like a fun story, and it's like chock full of stars.
Yeah, and I like how they tell you what happened.
Yeah.
And they're still like, okay, figure it out. Like, wait, what? Like,
I think it's one of my favorite Chris Evans roles. I think he's like a really I think he's really good. And they're making another one.
They should. I was gonna say that. I felt like they should make another one.
I love how what's his name? Daniel Craig's accent is like bad.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
And he like owns it.
And he called him Froghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
Froghorn Leghorn?
Yes, man.
Hey, who's the actor? Yeah. Who's the actor who plays the Falcon in Avengers? What's his name?
Anthony Mackie.
Doesn't he look like Norman Powell? On the record.
Wait, let me see Norman Powell. Because I don't have him in my head right now.
I think he kind of looks like Anthony Mackie.
I think you might be
also,
right.
Norman Powell would be the third best Maverick. On Mavericks.
Dude,
he would be the third best player.
Y'all had a pretty solid showing last night. I watched a good chunk of that
KP, man.
Denver-Dallas game. I'm hanging out here in Denver right now. I was like, dude, I kind of expected Denver to win that one.
Me too.
And Powell just went up. That's Shaq. That's Shaq and the Fool stuff right there.
Shaq and a Fool. How good is Shaq and a Fool?
How good is it, man? It's on point.
Whoever thought of that.
Shake and bake that. Shake and bake. That is 8 bulls in double figures.
Thad's little runner in the lane is like probably what it's our version of the skyhook or Dirk's when it should be an iconic shot. I think
an iconic shot.
I think we should his little and it's almost like a weird finger roll that goes from the front of the ring, but it's everything it does looks like it's not even going to hit the rim.
It's true.
There's no angle on it, and I love it.
Oh, nice,
Slim Duck. Dude, I like Kobe.
I like
Slim Duck.
I like Kobe off the bench.
Me too. Yeah, I like Wendell off the bench too.
Yes, I love Wendell off the bench.
Guys, I can't wait to talk about these lineup changes after this game is over.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe that a guy we've called the backup center his entire career is actually playing well as a backup center. It's so weird.
Oh God.
The guy who we knew was a backup center, whose ceiling was a backup center. Wow. I can't believe we were right. God, so sick and tired of every Bulls fan. They're all bad.
John is about to take the biggest victory lap tonight.
Oh, they truly. These morons.
Oh, man.
You don't know what he does. He anchors our defense by not blocking shots or rebounding.
Dude, speaking of which, did you guys see Lowry had a block tonight? Lowry!
A vicious one, too.
I think if you would go to his basketball reference page and look at total career blocks, it would say 3. Because there's the one tonight, there's the one from the Bulls Warriors game 3 years ago, where Lowry blocked it off of Steph Curry's head when Steph was falling backward. Mm-hmm. And then I'm guessing some other one in between those two.
Some other way. He's just giving him a benefit of a doubt.
I'm giving him one extra bonus block that I can't immediately recall because I think he's probably got one other one.
because he's 7 feet.
And he
what
is
do you
7
think?
feet tall.
I'll ask you guys. What do you think Lowry's career average is for blocks
per game?
Yeah, like his career average. What he averaged for his career?
0.5.
0.6.
No, that's not a number, man.
0.4.
0.6.
0.5.
Oh, dude, we had both sides of it.
Right there.
And I did say 0.4.
Well,
so
yes,
I was right.
Yes, you created a number. Good job. 40? 11?
11 pie. Guys, pie day. Happy pie day.
Oh, it's pie day.
Pie day.
And that means your birthday's coming up.
Oh my goodness.
Wednesday?
Nah,
Wednesday?
let's just go ahead and ignore that. I'm not a year older.
Oh, okay. I was worried. I was worried that for a second, I was like,
you're not wrong.
When you did this, I was like, did he die? Like the first time I had was like, does this mean he's? I don't know why I thought that. I was like, why would we cancel a birthday? Oh, no, he's dead.
I'm just deciding that. So, like, my birthday last year was 3 days after the NBA, or 6 days after the NBA shut down. It was like the beginning of COVID. So I'm just basically saying that my previous birthday, we're just going back to that. This past year just doesn't count. So I'm going to stay 33. I'm not going to be 34.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, no, go to 34. Beat Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that Jesus' age when he kicked it?
Don't make me run. Yes.
He didn't make it 34.
Hey, Jesus was 33. Martin Luther King was 33.
Chris Farley was 33.
Tom Brady
was 33.
Yes.
You're right. I should be 34.
All this is true.
Yeah.
So go past 33, brother.
There's some bad vibes around 33.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but to be fair, Jesus could have stayed around forever, but then he came back and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a thing."
He did hang out. This is true.
But he didn't hang out a year.
He did hang out.
You think if you come back from the dead, you stay for like a decade? See what's up.
There's a Tupac joke in there somewhere.
There's somewhere.
Jack Tripper said Lowry's block was inadvertent, just a spasm from gas caused by undigested reindeer meat. Hey, Jack, where you been, man? Lowry went vegan 2 years ago, and we have all already come to the scientific conclusion that that's why he's soft as hell.
Yeah,
Eat a goddamn steak.
Can we back up on that? We've all come to that conclusion.
Back up off of that. See if it doesn't help your game, Lowry.
Peck, the first time you said that, I was like, "That is such an ignorant thing to say." And now I'm like, he's completely right. He has regressed in a way that's super weird.
Hey, man, call me an ignorant Chicagoan who doesn't care about meat as murder with clogged arteries. If Lowry ate some reindeer steaks, his game would be stronger.
Peck, I'm saying I think you're right. You're right.
Thank you.
I think you called it right. And I'm apologizing to be like, no, he should eat more meat. He was so good. Now he's bad.
And then he hits a three on cue. Come on, Lowry.
Wait, Levine might get double digits.
Yeah, he's got 9.
Wow. And Zach just got to double digits, which means that 9 of the 10. Billy went 10 deep tonight. Yeah. So Archie has 0 points in 10 minutes. But he does
2
have
charges,
a rebound, an assist, and 2 charges taken. Every other bull that's played tonight is double figures.
2 charges is amazing.
2 charges.
And a blocking foul. So he was 2 for 3.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
And
where's Kyle Lowry going?
He's done. Ejected. Wait, what? I missed that. What happened?
I missed that too.
He threw the ball. He threw the ball back at the ref, but he threw it like way past him.
Oh.
I don't think it was.
That's not warranting of an ejection.
I think these refs are losing their goddamn minds this season. Because they're flying commercial. They are like all these like COVID's happening all around them, and they're supposed to travel all these places, go to the new hotels. Like I truly think they're losing their minds.
Yeah,
and it's showing up in games.
So he did have a tech before that. So that was his second tech, and that's why he got told.
You don't throw him out for that. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with those back-to-back quick Devin Booker techs from that game a week ago. Yeah. Where it was like, really? Really? What?
That was crazy.
That was. That one Nick Nurse guy too. Like you guys said, that was.
Like Ina said, the refs are quick-tempered. Yeah, I mean,
but that Nick Nurse one, that was the smoothest tick I've ever seen. Though he just go, like he was just like.
He gave him the one finger. He hit him with the one finger, like.
It was so smooth.
Like to your table, sir.
Chief Foolery said nobody pays to see the refs. Like, yeah, and I think that's what a lot of fans and NBA media have been talking about in recent weeks when we've seen some of these weird ejections. It's like, hey guys, remember how relieved and happy all NBA fans were when Joey Crawford finally hung him up and walked away? Because we had one fewer NBA ref who wanted to make the entire show about him. Yeah. No, like, why are all of these refs trying to be the next Joey Crawford? Nobody liked Joey Crawford.
But he stuck around for all those years, so it's maybe he's kind of revered for that reason that he stuck around for so long and he was hated, but everybody knows him. So yeah.
But you know why he retired? One of the reasons he retired. Remember when he threw out Tim Duncan, who was on the bench?
Yes. Oh, that was ridiculous.
Well, it was ridiculous to him too. Like that's when he knew he was losing it, and apparently he got called into Stern's office when it happened, and Stern was like, "What the hell did you do?" And like. It was this moment, and he was like, "I don't think I can do this that much longer." Like it was like an awakening for him.
Yeah.
It's like he threw out Tim Duncan, who was on the bench, like in street clothes.
Like, we let old white men get away with a lot in this country, but Joey,
it's so tough for us. Heck, we get paid the most, and we can't say 3 words. It's so tough. The world is made for us, and we're not happy, so it's the world's fault.
That's fair. Yep. That is a very fair assessment.
Gustavo said his Post Malone won a Grammy today. I didn't even know the Grammys were today until my buddy mentioned it. I did see the first 3 minutes of that Bruno Mars and whoever the hell that other dude was.
Anderson .Paak, sir.
Right. Anderson .Paak, dude. Anderson
are both talented.
Yeah. He's stupid talent. I've been a fan of Anderson .Paak since 2011. It's my favorite artist of this generation here. Man, it's incredible. You got to watch him play drums live. Like playing drums live and singing like he's
your second
it's insane, man. He's from a punk rock background. Like that's his background. Yes, dude. Like you got to watch him live, dude. Like it's ignorant watching him live. Like it's unbelievable the amount of talent he has. It's stupid. It really is.
My cousin texted me today. He knows all about music, and he was like, Bruno Mars a couple years ago was cosplaying as an '80s recording artist. Mm-hmm. Then he met Anderson .Paak, and now he's cosplaying as a '70s recording artist. I was like, I like that take. I like that.
It's not bad. And Bruno is stupid talented too, by the way.
He's so talented.
Like he plays the drums, the piano, he sings.
They did WAP, right?
Really good.
That was the whole thing. They did WAP on CBS, and it was like a whole thing.
Right? Oh, they did? Okay. I gotta see it. I'm ready for that album.
Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion did something. I assumed it was that.
Yes. WAP. Because that is the sound it makes.
And for 2 weeks, Velveeta got tagged in a million posts because of macaroni in a pot. And I couldn't respond to any of it as much as I wanted.
Oh my goodness. This is the first time 9 players have been in double figures for the Bulls since 1971.
Holy shit.
Since Nixon was president?
Yo.
Since Nam?
No, I don't think anybody here was alive.
Right.
Like, for real.
And that makes sense, though, because even in the Dynasty days, it's not like Jack Haley was putting double digits in off the bench.
Right.
But even Dynasty days, it was like 75 to 68. Like you mathematically couldn't have 3 players in double digits.
Yeah. When you had a night where Scott Williams or Bill Wennington had 6 points off the bench, you were like, "Oh, nice night, okay."
I like this. I like this lineup. I like what it does for Pat Williams. I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I want to get at. Yeah, okay. All right.
Wendell's going to get a lot of love. Wendell's going to get too much conversation about this when it should be about Pat Williams. Everything should be about Pat Williams.
I loved your response to our pal Fred's tweet about Wendell. He was like, he's going to be given the Ben Gordon treatment for the next 10 years of his life. Everyone's going to call him a bench player.
We don't even talk about Wendell now. I guarantee there are people who know the NBA who like forget he exists.
Man, how about that, guys? Our first win against Toronto since February of 2017.
We didn't even know each other back then.
We did not. We didn't meet until the following year. That is it. That's the final. 118-95. The Bulls end up winning it handily. Thanks for watching the fourth quarter with us. This is the Stretch 4. We are the Bulls Outcasts. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. And that is John. Just a reminder, as always, tips are welcome and appreciated. Or if you want to hop on and give your thoughts about tonight's game or anything else on your mind about the Bulls, hit that hot mic button, and for a small donation to us, the hosts, you can join the broadcast with us. All right, guys, let's start with obviously the biggest story from tonight's game. After two pretty lethargic losses out of the All-Star break to two short-handed teams, good teams, but short-handed teams, Billy Donovan decides to mix things up, benching two of the young starters, Kobe White and Wendell Carter Jr., and inserting in their places Tomas Satoransky and Thaddeus Young. Bulls had a pretty solid first quarter, and they pretty much had control of this game from start to finish, I would say. You know, they had to have a little comeback after the Raptors reeled off a 9-0 run somewhere late first, early second quarter, if I recall. But this is a game that you should have won handily, and you did. John, I'll start with you. What did you think about Billy Donovan's big lineup shift tonight?
Okay. Thank you for asking. When I saw it as a news break, I was like, did not expect literally anything. I really didn't. I was like, Sato's fine. That has been good, but we've seen it only against second units, but he hasn't been like a world beater. He'll get 11, 8, and 7, which is great, but not. Mm-hmm. This was unbelievable. The balance, the score, it made sense. Kobe made sense. Wendell made sense. And it's a team that actually made sense to me. And we had such variety of ways to score that I had not seen. It felt like we had too many cooks in that old starting lineup. And now we have some sous chefs in there. And then you come off the bench. Patrick Williams thrived. Lowry made sense. It was, I can't believe it took this long to do it now.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It's one game, but I loved it.
And it is one game against a very depleted Raptors
but it's
roster.
Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse is pretty good as far as coaches across the league,
yeah,
and making game-to-game adjustments with his lineup. But no Van Vliet, no OG Anunoby, and no Siakam. So perspective there. But Big Dave, you and I have been kind of on opposite sides of the fence with the whole Kobe White starting, not starting, and you have always kind of said if there's something better than Kobe, then I'm cool with you, putting Kobe back in that role of sixth-man spark plug scorer off the bench. But you have not thought that Sato is a better player, thus a better option. Mm-hmm. What did you think about the Bulls' start to the first quarter, and what did you think about Sato's game tonight?
Oh, he was awesome tonight. He was great. If Sato's going to give me 10-plus points a game, then I'm cool. That's just not something I think he can do consistently, which is, my whole issue with it. I know he can facilitate. We know he can get guys open. We saw that tonight. Like you said, the freedom that the starting lineup had, guys cutting, making their way to the basket. Lowry, who we talked about, one of his great things is cutting and finding his way to the basket. The chemistry he has with Zach LaVine, obviously the chemistry he has with Thad Young was on full display. Yeah, I know he can do that, and I know he can rebound because he's 6'7". But at certain points in time, I'm going to need him to score because that's going to be important when teams are, crowding Zach and other guys. Can you hit that open three? Now he did it tonight. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Yay, awesome! Yes, we're gonna do that. I am with it. But man, I just want to see if it can be consistent. That's not the Sato I'm used to. The Sato I'm used to, I'm like, yeah, he'll hit that. And then he'll disappear. I don't want to call him Otto Porter Jr., but it's kind of on that level where he'll hit that peak and then he'll kind of just chill out, and smooth out. I don't want that to happen because this is my team. I want them to succeed and I want them to be good. But yeah, as far as Kobe, I mean, yeah, man. I've said it a million times. We know what he can't do, and I have no problem with him coming off the bench at all. It was just the argument was completely about Sato being the guy instead of another point guard. But if Sato is going to give me this every single night, Awesome. Absolutely. And shout out to Billy Donovan for not being beholden to anything and just go ahead and giving everybody what they want. It's awesome.
Yeah. And John, Kobe did have a solid game in his first non-starting game since March 8th of last year. He had 13 points. Not a great shooting night. I think, he was only 2 of 8 from downtown, 5 of 12 overall. But 13 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds off the bench. He and Wendell both just looked confident and decisive. And I don't know if it was maybe taking advantage of a shorthanded Raptors team or like, hey, we believe that we are starting caliber players. We've been starting all season so far. Maybe there's an extra boost of confidence where you're like, okay, I'm going to come in late first quarter and we can run our stuff against the reserves of our opponents and feel pretty darn confident about that. And John, you saw like right off the bat, Kobe and Wendell had a little great 2-man game where Kobe found him as Wendell was going to the rim and he had a lay-in.
The first one.
Wendell got a kick-out pass where Wendell was behind 3-point line, had a pump fake, took a step in, confidently took and knocked down in mid-range. What did you think about Kobe and Wendell's response to getting benched tonight, John?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think we overvalue starter. We think starter means better. And it does not mean that way. That's not what it means. Like, talent is talent. Closing is what you want to do. I grew up watching Jason Terry. Like, he was our second best player for 10 years, and he came off the bench exclusively. Never started. Couldn't. And he shouldn't. He was a terrible starter. He was fantastic off the bench. I think we needed, and I do think it matters with matchups. Against Valanciunas, Wendell is a child. He's just, by definition, an infant to that monster man. But against Slim Duck, Boucher, he's got some weight on him. You know what I mean? Like, he can kind of man up against him. Kobe the same way. Kobe is 6'5", but he's a short 6'5". He's not a long, weird, like Halliburton 6'5", like, and I loved it. And I thought they played with right out the gate. Wendell had 3 baskets. The second one was an N1, and it was Kobe finding him that first time. And the difference was Wendell was able to get deep position, which you can't get against Valanciunas. He got these baskets because he was able to get in that position, which he physically can't do against bigger people. And that's why I loved it off the bench. And Kobe is so fun. When Kobe's good, that little behind the back.
Oh, like the double behind the back?
Yes.
Oh, man. And then the little floater. Do you think Denzel's yelling at him in the locker room after the game for shooting a floater in the middle of the lane? Like, that's my move.
If I'm with Denzel, I retire it and say, you're Thad, and floaters and lanes are Kobe's and Thad's. I'll just do threes. I'll be fine with it. But yeah, I loved it.
Let's get some comments in here. T. Foolery saying we need the young guys to develop. Sato's looking kind of stiff and slow. Marlon saying, but he can't dribble and pass. I think Marlon earlier tonight was saying watching Kobe dribble like makes me pain. Yes. T. Foolery saying Sato just doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I mean, I think that's unfair to Kobe. Like, look, if Sato and Kobe each had 3 turnovers tonight.
Exactly.
I think on the whole this season, you'll find that Kobe's turned the ball over more because he's been starting and he's been playing more minutes. So, like, it's not about making mistakes. I just think, and I think tonight it was on display, Sato's court vision is better than Kobe's right now. And I'm not saying that that's something that can't get better for Kobe down the road, but right now, Sato's court vision is better. He finds guys making cuts off the ball better. He threads needle passes better than Kobe. I mean, like, not to nitpick it, it's more so just a funny thing. But that lob that Kobe tried to throw for Zach tonight, where was that lob headed? Nowhere good. Nowhere close to the right direction. I think it's just like, Dave, you're right in that neither is a perfect solution right now. It basically just tells us that we know that right point guard is still not on this roster. Which, as somebody said in the comments, not that Matt, this lineup can get us to the end of the season, but this isn't what we'll see next year. I think Bulls fans need to always keep that in perspective. I think some pretty significant roster changes are coming.
No, absolutely right, Matt. Like, the whole time I was watching Sato, I kept saying to myself, like, oh man, this just really makes me want Lonzo Ball even more. Like, that's all it kept making me do. Like, I want him more and more like now. because I'm seeing like, yeah, I know, and I know a point guard who could do that better. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a point guard who could hit that a little bit differently, you know, and put a little more flavor on that, or, you know, hit that pass quicker, or not make that turnover right there. Like, oh, I know it's a point guard that could do that better. And yeah, like, yeah, it was on full display. It was definitely on full display tonight. But the numbers between them were kind of similar. Like I said, of course, you know, Sato didn't have, you know, as many points, like 3 less points, but obviously he's going to have more assists. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have more rebounds because he's tall and he's better at that. So yeah, it looked good. And also having Thad Young in there with him, the guy who he has the best chemistry with, you saw that on full display also, man, because Thad Young was awesome. Okay, like the way he was running that offense from the 5 position was awesome. The people he was finding, I thought he had 10 assists. I was shocked when they told me the number of assists that he had. What was it like? What he had? 7? Yeah, 7 assists. Dude, I thought he had 10. Like before, like the third quarter was over.
Yeah,
like he was killing them, man. Like the passes he was making and the finds he was making, he made the game easy for a lot of guys out there. Thad Young did, so he deserves a lot of that credit too.
And I think if you're going to play an undersized center, if you're choosing between Wendell and Thad, some Bulls fans and some Wendell, believers and supporters might say, well, like, which one's more important big picture long term? Thad Young's an aging vet. He's not going to be here for the long haul. If we plan on keeping Wendell, like, you need to develop him. But, right now, if the Bulls are actually going to try to make a playoff push with this group, and it seems like from any tea leaves that we can read from AK's comments before the All-Star break, they want to. They want to make the playoffs.
100%.
Thad Young, as you said, Big Dave, is a better passer than Wendell Carter Jr. right now. Better vision. He's a more efficient scorer than Wendell Carter Jr. right now, which
IQ.
is logical because Thad Young is 10 years older than Wendell and had been in the league for 12 years more than Wendell. Like, it's simple math and passing of time. I think Wendell stands need to, like, chill to be like, hey, if you want this team to be competitive, don't dig yourself a 10 to 15 point hole at the start of every game because you're trying to develop the young guys who are getting their butts handed to them by their opponents every night.
If you are a Wendell fan, you need to hold on to him coming off the bench like grim death, because if you want him to thrive and be the best version of himself, it needs to be against other 6'9" guys. Like unfortunately, it's that simple. It's that simple.
Saying this last year, yes.
We've said starting isn't some award where you get like into a different Hall of Fame or you get a different championship ring than the other people. It's fit, man. It's just fit, and it's who you're going up against. Valanciunas is a monster, and they're not even that good. Going against Embiid, that's insane. Porzingis is 7'4" and can shoot better than Wendell. That is insane. That's insane. Yes. That's unfair. And so I think him coming off the bench is great because it'll let him develop over many years. And then I guarantee you in 5 years he'll be a better shooter.
Look, man, some people are different. As my dad would say, like, some people are different when it's on them. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's on them, like when it's on you, how do you react?
And this is like when the Broadway actor, famous musician. So he knows. Like he's not just some dude. He's not some dude.
Different, right?
Your dad was
different
legit.
When it hits you, bro. Like or I can make it simpler. Like when the spotlight is on you. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's on you, how do you react? When those stage lights hit you, how do you react? How are you going to do? Some people rise. Some people kind of shrivel under that. Wendell has shown you that he's not a guy who's good with it when it's on him like that. Tonight, guys, when did you see him fumble a basketball tonight? You didn't see him do that one time. Not one time. Every time he caught that ball, he knew what he wanted to do. I lost my mind. I scared my poor lovely mother because I started screaming when he got the ball and he was in the paint and said, oh, this isn't a good play. Let me move out of the paint and dribble out. Oh, I got a smaller guy, Barnes, on me. Let me turn him into the post and back him down, turn around, and shoot a fadeaway. I screamed at the top of my lungs, yes! Yes! I couldn't believe that's what he did, man. And so, yeah, like for him it took him sitting on the bench to figure that simple thing out.
Mm-hmm.
He looked so confident, so just in rhythm, so like a basketball player. Like, this is the best 12. I don't care about his 27 and 12 and all that other that stuff. It looked hard. This looked like easy points, easy buckets, fluid, smooth, in rhythm, consistent. Oh, it was awesome to watch. I was very excited watching him. Even in the second half, the shots that he missed were the right shots. They weren't just thrown up like, I don't know what I'm doing. He pump faked the three and stepped inside and oh my God. Like, that simple stuff. I was so excited, but that comes because it wasn't on him anymore. He got to be free and come off the bench and just play. And he's better that way. Let him be that way, guys. Just let him be.
Colin, are you saying Wendell is a made-for-TV movie? That's a pretty apt comparison?
A lifetime movie.
You can't get all the spotlights. You can't be the lead. But I mean, honestly,
he's William H. Macy. Like,
right.
He's great, but he's not going to carry a movie.
We're getting some Billy Donovan post-game comments rolling through Twitter right now, and here's the one that I just saw and love. It has nothing to do with Kobe and Wendell when he was asked about the lineup change tonight. More about how the group as a whole is performing and looking for different combinations. How often have we said that? This season was all about trying everything for the purpose of evaluation. So, but I like that Billy was, very direct and making a point to say it's not about these young guys. I didn't bench them.
They're not being punished.
I made a choice to switch something up. Whereas, who last year very much made it sound like a punishment. Like the nun in Blues Brothers whacking them in the face with the ruler. Like, that was the coach to player attitude last season. Billy Donovan has enough credit and respect and admiration from players around this league to know that all he has to say is, I'm just trying a different look. Wendell, Kobe, great job off the bench tonight. And we'll keep that momentum going. Because they both responded really well.
Yeah.
Maybe it's damn, I got benched and I got to go out there and play, and they feel confident that way. Or like you were saying, Dave, maybe it's more so okay, a little bit of pressure taken off, and I feel like I can thrive in a supporting role. Either way, it's nice to have a coach who conveys that message to them in a way that doesn't hurt their feelings and mess with their head more. Because with Wendell especially, we know that messing with his head, dude, that roller coaster's never coming back. When Wendell gets in his own head, game over.
He's posting Instagram stories with no picture, with just text, writing haikus, and I'm like, just catch a basketball. Just catch a shut up. Just shut up, dude. When life pushes you, you have to just catch a freaking basketball. That's all we're asking, my man. We don't need you to write a journal. We're fine. But you're absolutely right. Basketball is the one sport where all 5 players have access to the ball, which doesn't happen in any other sport, and it has to do with fit. In football, only 3 people can touch the ball. In baseball, only 1. Fit matters so much, and matchups matter so much. Why? So the fact that we view starting as some sort of promotion, like it's a job, is insane to me. It's insane.
Yeah,
and I don't want because I hate when this stuff happens too, because then it always feels like a division among Bulls Nation. When this stuff happens,
smart people.
This side, this side, this, and I'm like, can we all be on the side of winning? Can we all be on the side of looking better and playing good? That's the side I like. I like that side. That's a much better side than I'm right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm correct. I nailed it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm wrong, or whatever. I like the dude.
Yes,
I won. I like that.
Also,
I won.
While they're still playing, we're never right and we're never wrong, because Wendell could turn into an amazing starter. Then would we be wrong? You know what I mean? If they're still doing it, there's no right or wrong. We can only have these debates when they retire.
Even if Wendell turns back into a starter, we're going to be talking about him as a bench player for the next 10 years.
Yes.
According to some
for 10 years, for a decade.
According to some people.
There was a coup 2 months ago, and he thinks we're going to talk about Wendell in 10 years. We lost 500,000 people to COVID, and he thinks we're going to be talking about Wendell Carter.
Oh
That's old demons, because as soon as he made the Ben Gordon comparison, I was like, okay, this is not about Wendell.
I have not seen Dave in a year, and he thinks we're going to be talking about Wendell.
Real quickly, guys, before we get out of here, just have to show some serious love to the rookie Pete Up tonight. Career high 23 on some pretty efficient 9 of 14. Even knocked down 4 of his 5 free throws, added 6 boards and 4 assists. This kid is a monster in the making. We know that there are changes coming to this roster. Maybe the first of those changes will happen at the trade deadline. Maybe not. Either way, this 19-year-old, this young man showed us everything in the arsenal tonight, and I'm going to have trouble falling asleep tonight because I'm so giddy about Pete Up. This kid is awesome.
Dude, he's great. And again, a lot of credit to Thad Young also, because Thad was finding him all game long. He made it very simple for him. He made it so simple for it. And honestly, Matt, I had flashbacks of Joakim Noah watching that, because I was like, oh man, what if prime Joakim was to sit on this one and Pat Will was doing this? Dude, those assist numbers would be crazy. That's what my thought was on this. But man, Thad Young, again, like you guys talked about, a veteran presence in there made it easier for a rookie. So we've seen that he knows where to be on the floor. He knows what to do. He's a very structured and solid 19-year-old basketball player. But man, he made it easy. So many layups, so many dunks. Like you said, that opens up and makes your free throws, feel a little easier when you're shooting them. When you get seeing a ball go in like that. Man, it looked good. It just looked good, Matt. Like you said, it looked good. It looked fun. I can't wait to watch his highlights again. I'm sure I'm going to go to YouTube and watch these highlights again, man. But yeah, it was fun.
Thank you, Book Jones. Appreciate the tip. John, lastly, obviously LaMelo's getting a lot of hype right now, and justly so. This kid is crazy. He's fun. He's fun to watch. He's made the Hornets better. If you were to play, crystal ball right now, if you were to try your best to predict the future, would you say that Pete Up has just as high of a potential ceiling as the rookie that has all NBA fans going gaga right now, LaMelo Ball?
Yeah, 110%. Because someone who can guard all 5 positions, who can shoot and score in the paint, and someone who does I've always hated the Kawhi comparisons, and this is this game where I looked at it, I was like, he plays like Kawhi. He plays very just detached and I'll dunk in the lane, and then the next play I'll make a 3, and then
he's a basketball computer,
he's a computer, in the same way. Just
cyborg.
Yeah. Whereas Denzel is whatever the opposite of a human, I guess, a basketball human. He does one good thing and he's like, I told you, he's screaming. Pat Williams.
Wait, how is that? How you do that?
I told you, we didn't. I mean, you're fine. But he had that amazing 2-handed dunk, and then a baseline 3 within 45 seconds, and I was like, okay, those are 2 special things.
And he has this look on his face the whole time.
Yeah, sure. So he shouldn't win Rookie of the Year. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Whether or not, but I don't think he'll ever be. I think he can. Pat Williams can be special. He can be special, and I think it's gonna be hard, but he can do it. I'm just saying, he has it.
The way in which Kawhi back in 2014 for that Spurs title run was still pretty young, but just oh yeah, no, I'm Finals MVP. I'll handle this. That moment that Giannis had when he was pretty young, and some opponent on his opponent's bench asked him when he was standing over the side, how old are you?
Reggie Evans.
Right.
Yep,
and Giannis told him how old he was. And he was damn. That kind of stuff. And the fact that, not that Matt in the comments saying P. Will acts like he's done this all before. That kind of Kawhi is the stuff that makes you believe he is not afraid of anything, but he's at the same time, he's humble. And all of his teammates and his coaches are calling this dude a sponge who just wants to soak up information. He's going to get so much better so quickly, and he's already a dude who looks like he belongs.
He's a starter. He came in starting from the beginning, and we haven't said anything about it. We're like,
Dude,
yeah.
That's such a good point. Yep. During all this mix-up, we're like, well, he'll start.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Our second year top 10 lottery pick and our third year top 10 lottery pick, who are two of the 5 pieces that comprised a pretty young starting lineup, have both been moved to reserve roles. And the 19-year-old rookie is still the one that we're all just like, oh, yeah, no, he's definitely still starting.
Right. And we're not like, I never heard one person go like, well, maybe he'll bring him off the bench. We're like, no, he'll start.
No,
him and Zach. Those are the only two things we know for sure, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
And as soon as, like, some of us, even me, I was like, really? And I was like, especially if Otto's healthy. Otto's a vet. You're paying $28 million. He's probably better than Patrick Williams. Start Otto. And, well, that decision was made for us pretty much. But even before Otto got hurt, Donovan was like, yeah, no, let's roll with P-Dub in the starting lineup. And Bullsen's like, yeah.
Guys, you'll remember we saw one play in practice when the Bulls were practicing, and he was going up against Otto Porter Jr. and he bodied Otto Porter Jr. and threw him back towards the rim. We all said, "Yep, there's the starter. That's it. That's it. We're good. That's him. He's the one. That's it."
Because unlike Otto, he likes playing basketball. He needs to play basketball.
Right. He prioritizes basketball above Kirkland champagne.
Dude, Kirkland champagne.
It's how the rich stay rich, man.
You're not wrong about that. All right, guys, let's get out of here and wrap up the weekend. Bulls have tomorrow off, but then the crazy schedule just keeps coming. Another back-to-back on deck on Tuesday and Wednesday against the Thunder and the Spurs. So 2 more home games, 2 more winnable games, but the Bulls get a much-needed win tonight against the shorthanded Raptors to keep themselves flirting in that Eastern Conference playoff position. As always, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for these Bulls shows. We enjoy it. We hope you guys enjoy it too. And a reminder, if you ever miss our Hot Mic broadcast live, you can always go back to that BAWL Bulls YouTube channel and catch our archived episodes there. Or if you want to just do the listening version via podcast, go to the BAWL Bulls podcast feed, wherever you get your pods, and you can find these Outcasts episodes there as well. For Big Dave Watson and John Sabine, Matt Pexton, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night and your Monday. We'll see y'all Tuesday.